Okay, so I've got some water boiling in my pot, and I've put some like a tablespoon of oil in there and some salt. So you got to have your water boiling before you put your spaghetti in. So let's put it in and keep it on a rolling boil for about 10 minutes. This is fresh pasta, that's why it's not stiff. I just made it in my machine. Okay. I'm going to make sure there's enough water in there to cover the top of the pasta. So I'm going to let that boil. 10 minutes and I'll be back. Okay, now we're going to pour it into a colander. This is a colander. And run cold water on it. Because you want to stop the cooking process. Even though I put oil in it, it's still stuck a little bit. And I did turn it also. Okay. Swish it around so the cold water can get to it. So it can cool off. You don't want your spaghetti mushy. You want it cooked, but you don't want it mushy. So after you've got through cooling it off, then you just set it aside, leave it in the sink to drain. And you're going to put a little bit of water in your pot and then set it on the stove so it can become unstuck. Just set it there for about 30 minutes and all that spaghetti that's stuck on the bottom will come off. Okay, so I have some grape tomatoes, some bite-sized dry salami, and some mini sweet peppers. So what I'm going to do is wash these off and cut them up. Okay, so you also need some cucumber, which I have here. I'm going to wash that off. And I got some light Italian dressing. Okay? And I'm going to put some Italian seasoning and a bit of salt in it. Okay, I forgot the red onion. You need some red onion. You could probably use yellow onion, but I think red onion would taste better. Okay, so you need a big salad bowl. So as I'm chopping all this stuff up, I'm going to put it in my bowl. So the salami, I'm just going to chop in half. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing with the grape tomatoes. I'm going to cut those in half too. Should have done that first, because the salami is making my hands a bit greasy. It's hard to hold it. Just chop it clear in half and throw it in your bowl. Okay, so I've washed off my cucumber, so I'm going to chop that into quarters. Whoops. Well, that's not working, is it? Let me try it this way. Okay. So I'm going to chop that into small pieces. Don't want it too thick, I want it nice and thin. Put this in here. I always throw away the ends. You don't want the end in there. It's probably okay to eat. It just doesn't look good to me. Okay. So your onion, I'm going to chop that up next. Chop off the ends of the onion. Any part that doesn't look kosher, chop that off too. Okay. So I'm just gonna do it like this. And cut it in half this way. Small pieces. Okay. Okay, let's pop this in our bowl. Okay, so last thing you got left are your peppers. So basically, we're going to chop those up small. Take the seeds out. I've already washed them. Alright, so I'm going to finish chopping this up. Okay, I have some leftover mozzarella cheese and cheddar. So I'm going to grate that up and put that in there to make it taste nice. But if not, if you got some Parmesan cheese, that would probably be nice too. Wait a minute, I thought I had bought some. I have to look in the refrigerator. So you're going to grate this up. Cheese really sets this off. If you don't like cheese or you're lactose intolerant, you can just omit it. Okay, so I did find some Parmesan cheese. So I'm going to put a bit of that in there. So, because it's a dry cheese, it'll soak up. And I put about that much along with the cheddar. Okay. I'm going put this in. Okay, so I couldn't find my Italian season. I think I'm out of it. So let me stir this up. Don't want all the seasoning to be on the cheese. Oh, you scared me. Yeah. So I'm going to put some parsley in here. So my sonny just came out here, scared the crap out of me. Some parsley. I'm going to put some dill weed in there. Some garlic and herb. And some black pepper. I'm going to leave the salt out because I think right now the cheese gives it a lot of salty flavor. Okay. So I'm going to shake the Italian dressing, and initially I'm going to put a cup in there. I'm putting in half a cup. See? Just start with half a cup and see how it does. Probably need a little bit more, but you can always add, you can't take out, right? So let's stir this up. And I think we're going to need another half a cup. Well, that's the rest of it. That's it. Put that in. And then you're going to put your spaghetti in there. So at this point, spaghetti's all drained and it's cool. So just kind of turn, you know, fold it in, basically is what you're doing. You want to mix everything up. And this is best when you leave it in the refrigerator and let it chill. The longer it sits, the better it's going to taste, because the spaghetti will soak up all the salad dressing and it's just so yummy. So I would recommend letting it chill for at least a couple of hours before you eat it. And there you have it, spaghetti salad. I think I'm going to put a dash of vinegar in there just to help it preserve. Okay, so I have some red wine vinegar, and I'm going to put about a quarter of a cup in there. And I'll say about 1/8 of a cup. Yeah. This up. Let me give it a taste and see if it's missing anything. But you really can't taste the true you know how it's really going to taste and let it get cold. That is so good. That is delicious. And it's not even chilled yet. Okay, so I'm going to cover this and put it in the refrigerator.